Hey folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. Yes, it's not going to be a live show today. Lots of things going on, considering that breaking news has come out that the Mexican military has fired upon Border Patrol, okay? And I don't know where to begin with this, folks. I really, really don't. Honestly, I don't. TheBlaze.com and other outlets are saying Mexican military helicopter fires on Border Patrol agents after crossing into U.S. during drug operation. And this was from The Blaze. A Mexican military helicopter crossed the U.S. border into Arizona and fired on U.S. Border Patrol agents during a drug operation Tuesday before flying back into Mexico. Border Patrol officials said no injuries to agents or damage to U.S. property were reported, a Border Patrol spokesman said, according to KVOA TV. The helicopter fired 2 shots at the agents early Tuesday morning as part of a, quote, drug interdiction operation, unquote, Border Patrol spokesman Andy Adame told KVOA. Folks, this is everywhere, okay? This is everywhere, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. I told you, 6 months or so ago, So it's gone. I mean, this has gone on since 2002 or probably longer than that. Okay? But the facts are the facts, folks. The facts are the facts. There they are. What part of they're invading us do you not understand? What part of this whole regime do you not understand? And I don't get it, folks. I don't get it. And I'm at my wit's end here. I do shows. I've been doing shows for many, many years, actually 4 years on this particular network and on platform and with this particular network. And I got to tell you, everybody that I've talked to in the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 years has said, oh, our government will take care of us, all, and all of that, right? No, they're not, because they don't care. And the one thing that you, I would hope, understand is the fact that not only does our own country, our own government, our own Washington, D.C. people there don't care about us, there are people out there that don't care about you, that will look at you and say, oh, that's not happening. Well, the things will be just, calm down, whatever. No, folks. No. Here's the thing. We have to get down to the border now. I've said this for over 15 years, talking to people specifically about immigration and all of this and the comprehensive immigration reform, which literally is amnesty. Don't get me started on that one. Just look back in Reagan's 1986 amnesty bill. Just go, look it up. Okay? He signed it, and back then it was, 10 million. No, the numbers came out years later. Over 30 million Mexicans came over here. Now, most of them probably went back home because they couldn't find jobs here. So I'm not saying we have that many here now. I'm just saying comprehensive immigration reform is nothing but amnesty. Open the border. That's what they want. That's what these Democrat, Republican, progressives want in Washington, D.C., period. Don't even trust Ted Cruz or Rand Paul to close the border. He's not. You are, the American people. That is who's going to close this border. Get the militia down there. Get the citizens' constitutional militia down there. Get the truck drivers down there. Block that damn border and close that damn border now. I'm sick and tired of people telling me, well, this, and we got to do this, and we got to manage it. No. No, it's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. You're busy tweeting. You're busy listening to this garbage on the news. You're listening, to MSNBC and all this, that, and the other thing. And you're tweeting about it and you're posting about it. Yes, I post about it, but I'm trying to get people encouraged to see what's going on and to see the truth and to understand what's happening to our country. That's why I do it. I even have family and friends tell me, well, what are we supposed to do? I mean, how are we supposed to prepare? What are we preparing for? When the crap hits the fan, dumbass. How many times did I got to stand in your face and tell you, like a drill sergeant in the military, to get down and do 20? I'm only using that as an analogy, but the thing is the facts. The facts. You cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore them. They are there, and that's the way it is. Now, I'm done with stupid people. I've said that before. I'm not going to say it again. I'm just not. Well, people aren't stupid. They're just not aware. And if you know, why don't you tell them? And maybe they might know. Do you have eyes? Can you see? Do you have ears? Can you hear? Can you at least open a book and read? Can you go to newspapers like Wall Street Journal or any other newspaper, USA Today, or any online news organization or aggregate and look at the headlines? Can you not do this? I'm sure you can, and I apologize for sounding as if I'm talking down to you, but it seems like I'm talking to freaking infants. Okay? It almost feels like I'm talking to numbed mind, stupid, airheaded teenagers that, whatever, Mark Dice, who is an analyst, a news analyst, and has his own show, and you can check him out on YouTube, but he goes out and talks to people with just like a social experiment, if you will, if that's what it is. And he's told people stuff like, oh, did you know that today John F. Kennedy died in a car accident? That's a new one he has out, by the way, or something of that nature. And people are just eating it up. What? Really? Oh, my God. Folks, John F. Kennedy was murdered by our own company, or by our own country. Well, company, yes, because we are United States Incorporated. Why not? John F. Kennedy was murdered by our own country on November 22nd, 1963. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done. I'm gonna. If I have to preach to the choir, I will. You know what I'm saying? If I have to talk to those people who are fully awake and aware, I will. But I'm trying to encourage those who aren't to get up off their ass and look at this stuff. Okay? So I've had people tell me, well, you sound as if you're talking to people that are not awake, that, you think that most people are not awake and aware and whatever. Well, I don't see them doing anything. Well, I've had people ask me, what am I doing? It's called gauging the situation for the best response. We go out, like today, we may go out as well, but I talk to people. We talk to people. We talk to people online. We talk to people on the phone. We don't always talk to people face to face, but I interject a few things when we do talk to people and see people, just strangers, The best thing that we have done is we watched people. That's the best thing that we didn't say a word, we didn't confront them, we didn't ask them any questions, we just watched people. And we assessed from that observational data that, number one, people don't know what's going on outside of their doors. Number two, people don't care what's going on outside of their doors. Number three, people are more concerned about getting their kids to ballet and softball practice and t-ball than anything else. Number four, they don't give a crap, and they'll just go home, grab a beer, and watch ESPN or some stupid reality show. This is what we've assessed from what we've seen. And even when we talk to people and tell them what's going on, they don't believe it. Well, how are they not? How are you not going to believe it when it's right there in your face? Well, I'm not going to believe it unless I see it. Dumbass, it's right there in front of your face. Yes, I'm going to call people dumbasses because they're dumbasses. I'm going to say this. I'm going to back up, get a little, calm down now. I'm going to say this. I don't condone violence. I never have and I never will. I don't condone it. I don't take a step to be violent when you confront somebody. You know what I mean? Just don't do that. Okay, I don't condone that. Here, peaceful, non-violent, peaceful, militant resistance. Peaceful, militant resistance. Non-violent, peaceful, militant resistance. Okay? That's. But when I'm confronted with somebody who is violent, I have the God-given right that cannot be taken away from me to protect myself. No government can take away your right to protect yourself, period. I'm going to do everything I can to protect myself, my family, my neighbors, my friends, my county, my city, my state. I'm going to do everything I can. Because that is my duty and obligation as a citizen of the United States of America. Period. Now, I cannot, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to put this out here. I cannot condone anyone else's lack of, how can I put this? I will not condone ignorance. There you go. I will not condone ignorance. I won't. You want to present to me your argument against what I'm saying, the burden of proof is on you. Prove yourself right. You can't. You've taken all the information I've given and everything else and things that you found, and you cannot present a valid argument against what I'm saying. Bye, have a nice day. You have no reason to present anything if it's not valid. Okay? I verify everything I say. I've looked at several, like this, like the Mexican military and their helicopters firing down at border agents last night or this week. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but why? Because they want to send the drugs across. They want to have cover fire to send the runners across with the drugs to get them into the organizations that are here. Okay? Did you know that there are children with viruses and stuff like that are coming across the border? Did you know that the MS-13 gang, the most dangerous gang in Mexico and the United States, is now here? Did you know? Guess what? Eric Holder. Fast and Furious. Guns to Mexico, drugs to the U.S. Just today, I heard a report that the poppy increase production, the stuff that makes cocaine, has increased dramatically just within the last several months. And our military is protecting those fields. What does that tell you, folks? I'm done with stupid people. I'm absolutely done with stupid people. I'm not going to put up with stupid people anymore. Stupid people need to go away. As a matter of fact, hey, I'll help you pack. Why don't you go to China or Mexico where you belong? Yes, I said it. What are you going to do? Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Email me. Tell me why you disagree with me. Go ahead. Tell me why you disagree with me. You can't. There's no way. But when you look at the information and the facts that are behind it, and you look deeper into certain things, you'll find out certain things for yourself that, number one, may not surprise you. But number two, something that you've always said, oh, well, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to, and then you look at it and go, holy crap, it's a lot worse than what I thought. There's this thing called cognitive dissonance. Now think about it. Dissonance. There we go. Cognitive dissonance. People see the fire, the building's on fire, the people are running around, the fire department's trying to put it out, and you're going, I wonder who's going to win Dancing with the Stars. I wonder what Kim Kardashian's doing. Get a clue, people. Get a freaking clue! I don't know how to make it any more prevalent in your life. Get a freaking clue! Now I'm angry, so I'm going to take a little break and I'll come back. Hopefully I've calmed down. But I got some other things to share with you, so stick around. I'll be back right after this. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Please join me on the Views Expressed Live, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. Hello, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 27th of June, 2014. Man, oh man. I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. Let's get on to something else because I don't want to rant and rave, and you need to know some more news of what's happening. Yes. Again, before the break, I said Mexican military helicopter fires on Border Patrol agents after crossing into U.S. during drug operation. Now, did Mexico invade the United States? Have they invaded the United States? I would say in this, they have declared war. Okay? Now, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. I don't. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. Okay? You're going to have to figure that out yourself. All right? Because you need to know. I went to drudgereport.com. Okay? Now, they have a whole bunch of stories there. Now, I don't know. I don't know. There's just so many things here I'm looking at, but let's go with 21stCenturyWire.com and see what's over there with Patrick Henningsen and his crew in Invading Iraq 2.0, ISIS propaganda, proxy wars, and NATO's blitzkrieg. Remember that? Look that up. Blitzkrieg. It's not the song by Metallica. That's what happened in World War II. Barclays sued over dark pool trading. That's financials. Gives edge to high-frequency deals. Feds threatening third wounded knee with eminent domain land grab and Sioux Indian reservation. See? Told you. The government makes a treaty. The government, Washington, D.C., makes a treaty with the American Indians or with the Indians or the natives that are here and says, hey, we'll just put you over there. You can do whatever you want. And then they come back years later and go, we want that land. You know what I mean? So don't trust the government at all. I mean, just don't. Because it's pointless to do so. Okay? It's just absolutely pointless to do so. Let's go to Infowars.com. And see what's over there. Border Patrol cartels using de facto amnesty to smuggle whatever they want into the U.S. And Rob Duke, Kit Daniels, and Joe Biggs wrote that article. It's I don't know what to tell you, folks. I mean, you're on your own. I mean, I cannot. I cannot go any further except to say that you have to do your own research in this. You really do. You have to. It is vitally important that you do so. I'm stunned. I'm as stunned as you are. Okay, but sorry, my phone keeps going off. There is an active pursuit by the globalists to destroy America. An active pursuit by the globalists to destroy America. But people are more concerned about the soccer game, the World Cup, what Shia LaBeouf did at a Broadway theater and got arrested for. I don't know. Now, former CIA chief and General David Petraeus and his followers and his fellow globalists still intend to create a North American Union, even as they work to integrate the U.S. with Europe and the Pacific Rim. So, what are you going to do to stop the plot to commit merger? Okay? One of the respondents here says that it's going to take an armed insurrection, but few seem to have the stomach for it. Yeah, that's true. Nobody wants to do it. I'm going to put that on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. I'm also going to put that on the Free America Radio Facebook page. And it's from thenewamerican.com. I don't know how much more I'm laughing because it's either that or I yell, scream, and jump up and down and, sound like a total fool. But I don't know how much more people are going to take. I really, 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 really don't. From ancient Egypt to modern America, spying has always been used to crush dissent. freedominfonet.net. I'm putting that up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page and the Free America Radio Facebook page. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be talking about on the Views Expressed today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I got to tell you, here's another one I'm going to put up. Glenn Hunt from California. He lives in near Sacramento or in Sacramento. He says it's starting up again. All it will take is a family member that doesn't believe in the right to bear arms to tell the authorities they are worried about you owning a weapon and they can take them. BS. That's from gunsavelives.net. California confiscation bill passes state Senate committee. It's a committee, hasn't passed the state Senate yet. But it's a committee. Since when is America ruled by committees? You know what I'm saying? The policies and regulations coming out of committees should not even be a part of the United States. What it should be is constitutional. If it doesn't stand against, if it doesn't stand with the strength of the Constitution and the rule of law of the Constitution and Bill of Rights, it should not be a law, period. That's just the way it is. Let me go read this. I'm going to see how much time I got left. Maybe I got 4 minutes. After the bottom of the hour break, I'll go ahead and read that. But a lot of attorneys that I've talked to over the years have already said that if it doesn't stand the test of the Constitution and Bill of Rights, it shouldn't be law. I've talked to them over the years that have said something similar to that. And you can talk to your own attorneys in your own area and ask them, okay? You can do whatever you want, really. All right? I mean, but when you look at the Constitution prior to 1871, you will see a form and rule of law that governs by, 1, common sense, 2, inalienable rights, however you want to put it, and 3, tells the government you will not interfere with the people's rights. You will not interfere with the people's lives in any way, shape, or form. That's what it is. Now, when you look at the basics of how we live and what we do, the question should arise, is the government suppressing my right to live and pursue happiness? And if it is, then you, as an American citizen, have an obligation and a duty to stand on that Constitution and Bill of Rights prior to 1871 and make it known to our officials. I don't care if you got to go to your state capitol or your city hall or your city council meetings open to the public or county board of supervisors meetings open to the public, and you tell them if you're not standing on the rule of law of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871, you need to pack up and get the hell off of this committee now. Off of this council, out of this government. You need to go away. If you're not standing on the Constitution prior to 1871, you are in violation of every single law that there is. Now, here's the thing. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Constitution prior to 1871. Go look up the Act of 1871. Go ahead. Some people say it just incorporates Washington, D.C. in that 10 square mile radius where Washington, D.C. is. No, folks. No. When you, as a business owner, say, I want to put out a franchise and have my company in other states, that's exactly what Washington, D.C. did. They allowed for the incorporation of these other states. Why do you think, when you look at outside of your city and inside of your city, why do you think your city council and county board of supervisors are saying the unincorporated parts of your county and the incorporated parts of your county? Why? Because it's a business. The United States of America Incorporated is a business, period. End of sentence, done. Go look it up. Act of 1871, and go look up everything associated with that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll admit to it. But I know I'm not wrong because I studied it. I looked at it. I researched it. I do things a lot of people don't do, and that is I get up off my butt and go open a book. Okay? That's what I do. I go research. I go look at documents. I don't know too many other people that do, except for people in the independent and alternative media. You can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information, and I shall return right after this. Local radio with a worldwide connection. The Free America Radio Network. Go to www.freeamericaradio.us. The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up, speak out, get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com.
Some say Wayne Pearson's crazy.
The worst thing to call somebody is crazy is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Don't take somebody else's word. Tune in and judge for yourself. The views expressed. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday on Spreaker.com.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network. Hey folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here for the 27th of June 2014. Welcome back. Appreciate you hanging out and listening to me babble. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to get the information out to you so that you can be aware of what's going on. And most of the time, I'm met with contention because some people just don't get it. Okay. I don't know. California gun confiscation bill passes state Senate committee, June 25th. Update. The bill has been slightly amended. This is over at gunsavelives.net. Written by Dan Cannon. Thank you, Dan. The update. The bill has been slightly amended. The amendments make the bill ever so slightly not as bad as it was, but it's still terrible. Unconstitutional bill that could result in the loss of gun rights for California citizens without due process. CALFFL has released a video below explaining the amendments. AB 1014. AB 1014, known as the Gun Violence Restraining Order Bill, is quickly moving through the state legislature. The bill would allow authorities to confiscate guns from individuals who have this new type of restraining order taken out against them using no more than the word of a third party. Boy, I cannot wait to hear about the lawsuits on this one. According to KFBK, in response to the recent streak of gun violence, the Senate Public Safety Committee has passed a bill that would temporarily take guns out of the hands of at-risk people. Assemblymember Democrats Nancy Skinner, Democrat, obviously, Das Williams, and Senator Hannah Beth Jackson say AB 1014 would give law enforcement the ability to obtain a gun violence restraining order to temporarily limit a person's access to firearms when there are warning signs of violence. The Los Angeles Times gives more details in an older report. The measure by Assemblyman Das Williams, Democrat, Santa Barbara, and Assemblywoman Nancy Skinner, Democrat, Berkeley, as well as State Senator Hannah Beth Jackson, Democrat, Santa Barbara, would create a, quote, gun violence restraining order, unquote, using the same process that restraining orders are granted in cases of domestic violence. Family members, partners, and friends would have the ability to alert law enforcement if they believe someone poses a threat to themselves or others. Law enforcement officers would then be able to petition a judge to grant a restraining order that could prohibit possession or purchase of a gun. Gun rights activists are speaking out against the bill's lack of due process and obvious potential of abuse or for abuse. Quote, AB 1014 is a gun control nightmare, unquote, said Brandon Combs, president of CALFFL. Quote, California Democrats are taking their radical anti-gun agenda to an entirely new and horrifying level, unquote. Combs, who debated the bill with Assemblymember Williams and UCLA law professor Adam Winkler on the Los Angeles-based radio talk show Which Way LA, said that the bill, quote, guts due process, unquote, and the presumption of innocence. Quote, the subject of a restraining order and confiscation warrant may not even know that they have been accused until there's a SWAT team at their door, unquote. It's not hard to see how this bill could easily be abused by anti-gun family members, friends, and even government agencies. Now, I want to say this, and I want to make this perfectly clear. Any state, any Democrat, any Republican, any governor, no matter what initial they have before, after their name and before their state, any legislation going through any of the 50 states that has anything to do with quote-unquote gun control is a complete and total violation of our Second Amendment Bill of Rights prior to 1871. Okay? Period. Any state that is proposing gun control laws is in direct violation of the federal Constitution and Bill of Rights of the United States of America, period. End of sentence. So, take that any way you want, but that's what it is. And I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to piss off some people, but, suck it up, Cupcake. Okay? Just suck it up, because I'm going to keep my guns. I'm going to keep my way of protecting myself because under the Second Amendment of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America, I am allowed to. And my government, no matter if it's a city, state, county, or federal, cannot take my guns away from me, period. So, with this anti-gun legislation going through the State Senate Committee in California, it is a direct affront of our Second Amendment rights. And it is a massive abuse of their power, specifically the Democrats in California. Now, whether you like that or not, or whether you want to agree with that or not my problem there, jackwagon. You have to understand one very valuable thing. If you haven't valued the Constitution and the Bill of Rights before, you should value it now. Anybody that comes along that says you can't do something, you have a constitutional right to tell them you can. That's under the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Anybody that comes along and says, oh, you can't have a garden, a vegetable garden in your front yard, you can contest that. If they come along and say, well, one of your family members, was arrested for abuse and physical, domestic violence, so he cannot have a gun. Excuse me? Let me put this scenario out here, and this may have happened. I don't know. I can't validate this, but here is a scenario. We'll consider it hypothetical. Say your brother, your sister, was married to someone, and later on that person became very abusive, physically, mentally, whatever it was, and finally got fed up and began, this is only a hypothetical, I'm going to use a man in this scenario. The man begins to beat the crap out of a woman. Begins to get psychologically, emotionally, and physically abusive. Well, the woman can stand up and complain all she wants and have this guy arrested all she wants. The guy's going to, oh, I'm sorry, I'll change. Guys won't change. This is only in this scenario, this hypothetical scenario. The woman can pull a gun and shoot him and defend herself, and it's called battered woman's syndrome. Go look it up. But now if you as a family member, and that is your sister that's getting beat up, you can tell the cops that guy is beating up my sister. When in fact, that may not be the case. Here is this point in this hypothetical situation. That sister, that brother, may not like the guy that the sister is married to. You are the brother, you are the sister. Your sister is married to a guy you don't like, and has not ever laid a hand on your sister. But you're going to say, that guy has a gun and he's been abusive to my sister. The cops can now come, throw him on the ground, take his gun away, and that's just the way it is. Until he can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the allegations against him are false. That's a hypothetical situation. Has it ever happened before? I don't know. That's a hypothetical situation, a scenario that possibly could happen. And you're going to sit there and say, well, no, you're a dumbass if you think that it's okay to lie. You're totally missing the whole point of constitutional protection. You're missing the whole point of having a right being forcibly taken away from you. You see where this is headed, folks? If they can do this. Now, granted, let me give you a reality check. I understand that there are abusive people out there, and yes, about 30% of the women in abusive relationships are the abuser. About 30%. Not a whole lot when you consider the demographics of physical, mental, psychological, emotional abuse. But if, and here's the reality check, if they can come from a third-party notification to your home and take away your right to protect yourself, what says they can't do that with somebody standing out on the street that you don't know, that doesn't know you, and just say, hey, I believe that person in there is violating, is abusing, somebody in there, and blah, 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 and the SWAT team comes to their house and takes away their guns. This is the same type of situation and policy that was in Nazi Germany. The same damn thing. And you people are sitting there, you Democrats are sitting there wringing your hands going, we're going to take the guns away from these people. We don't want dissension. We just want to have complete and utter control. Well, guess what? It's not just the Democrats. Go look at some of the gun control policies that the Republicans are putting out. And it is a almost verbatim to the gun control policies out of China, out of Nazi Germany back then, in the 30s and 40s. It's almost verbatim to the gun control policies out of Soviet Russia. So I don't want to hear it anymore. The reality is also that, yes, there are abusers. The reality of the situation is that those abusers don't get caught and nothing is done when the law enforcement officer doesn't see it happening. Or if at some point the person being abused says, I got this bruise because, I kind of smacked myself in the head. Really? 10, 15 years ago, domestic violence used to be a key thing that law enforcement officers would take very seriously. Now it's like, oh, you're beating one another up? Okay, we'll just let it play out, and sooner or later you guys will get a freaking brain and grow up. I don't know what else to tell you. Because I'll tell you right now, we have a constitutional right to own any type of weapon that we need to protect ourselves. That is our right. Could be a stick, could be a baseball bat, could be a gun. We have a right to protect ourselves. A God-given right that no government can take away from us. Period. No politician, I should say, in Washington, D.C. Now I'm going to point something out, and my next statement is to you gun-grabbing fascists out there on the Democratic and Republican progressive side of politics. You're not going to win. You don't know the heart, soul, mind of the individual who wants freedom, security, peace, liberty in a country they grew up in. You have absolutely no clue. You can go back to the pits of hell. You can go back to the land of Mordor, to use that reference. You can align yourself with the most vile, pathetic beings on the planet. But you have no idea how powerful our heart and soul and minds are against anyone taking away our constitutional and God-given rights. You fascist, Marxist, communist, you lefties and righties out there that want comprehensive gun control, you're not going to win. Your only option right now is to give up. And we the people suggest that you pack your bags and move to China or Russia, because that is where you belong. Now, somebody once said, and believe me, I've had this thought in my head as well. Somebody had told me this, but I had this thought in my head as well, is we live in a country where people have a right to oppose anybody, right? We have that right, do we not? Think about that for a minute. So why am I telling politicians who are lefties to get the hell out of the country? Because their policies, their ideals, their philosophies are completely inconsistent and incompatible with the freedoms and liberties and peace and security that we, the people of the United States, want. And when a policy, a philosophy, or a religious, political, whatever it is, thought that any thought that we have, any policy from Washington, D.C. that is destructive to our freedoms, that is against our God-given rights to protect ourselves, again, destructive to our freedoms. We have a right to protect ourselves, and we're going to do that either intellectually or literally. And if those far-left fascist goons want to continue to push their unconstitutional executive orders and rules and policies onto us, we have an obligation and a duty to defend ourselves, to put down the opposition. Period. Now, the Bill of Rights says that we have a right to disagree, do we not? We have a right to disagree, do we not? Yes. But when others decide that they're going to run roughshod over me physically to cause physical or intellectually to cause me physical damage, I have a right to defend myself, either on the battlefield or in a court of law. I would rather go to the court of law and use the Constitution. But if they so push the issue to where I am in the field of battle, either figuratively or literally, then I have an obligation and a God-given right to defend myself. Do you not? I'm asking you, do you not believe that for yourself? If I am wrong in any of this, and I want to put this out here right now, if I am wrong in any of that, the burden of proof is on you. Send me your information, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. I want to hear from you. I'll be back after this short break. This is Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network, and we are looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor any of the shows on the Free America Radio Network, email us at freeamericaradio@usa.com. Our website is freeamericaradio.us. The reality underneath the honesty. Brian Lang, LiveTruthRadio.com. Hey folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 27th of June 2014. Welcome back. Take these last few minutes and just let you know you can go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. If you want to sponsor this show, you can just hit the sponsors page. There you go. That's it. And then email me and let me know what you want to do. Email me at WayneSPierceShow@USA.com. Now you can email me right there from the website too. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. Email me. Let me know what's going on. The best email to use as well is freeamericaradio@USA.com. freeamericaradio@USA.com. Also, check out Brian Lang with the Live Truth Radio over at livetruthradio.com. Great show. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. Excuse me. The other show that I'd like you to check out is also on, let me think now. I got 3 shows that I'm wanting to talk about, so I'm going to give you one of them. Actually, go, here's this. Go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Got a lot of stuff up there. And he'll be on the Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So you might want to check that out. We don't take breaks on that show when he's on because we get into talking about stuff and man, time flies like you would not believe. I'm serious. So anyway, and besides, I'm not, it's like I said, we just start talking about stuff and I forget to play the breaks. Is what I do. But anyway, check it out. Nick Tucker is going to be on the Views Express live today. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can go check out his Facebook page at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. And, just please check it out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, hey, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. I want to make this statement, and I want to make sure that you understand. I don't hate people. I dislike what they do. I dislike how they think. I don't like the fact that they don't look at the obvious, that they're ignoring most of it most of the time. And I don't have anything against them. They can do that. They can do that all they want. But, when they get their doors broke down and by militarized law enforcement and they're hauled away, then, they might think twice. I'm just saying. So anyway, let me give you this statement as well. I'm not a financial expert, nor am I an attorney, nor do I give legal advice or financial advice. I just give you what I know, I see, and I disseminate that to you. I convey that message to you. I look at this information and give you my opinion, my thoughts, my views, but I tear away the veil and I show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. And I make sure you understand this stuff. And if you don't, that's why I say go check it out. That's entirely up to you. It's your life. You right there, go look at yourself in the mirror. You can direct your life better than I can, because I don't know what you want in life. You're the one that has to figure that one out. I'm just giving you some guidelines. I'm showing you some stuff that's happening and the reality there and all of that. And you can decide for yourself what you want to do. That's primarily it. Do I get upset and scream and yell and jump up and down almost? And, well, maybe not that much, but do I get loud? Yes, I do. Why? Because I'm trying to tell you the bridge is out, folks. I'm holding signs up. I'm waving my arms. I'm jumping up and down and showing you that I'm telling you, yelling at you that the bridge is out. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. The bridge is out. If you want to continue going and drop off the end of the broken bridge into the ravine down below, you go right ahead and do that. But I warned you. And don't say I didn't tell you so. You know what I'm saying? So, it's something to think about. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, man, I want to see who disagrees with me. I really do. Also, I want people to agree with me as well. If you do, if you can agree with me or you have a different take on the issues and subjects that I present, please email me. Best way to get a hold of me is freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. And you can go to the website, The Wayne S. Pierce Show, at .weebly.com. That's The Wayne S. Pierce Show .weebly.com. And come join me today on the Views Expressed live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can go to the website at freeamericaradio.us and check out the show. If you see a red if you see a word up there with red around it that says live, just click the play button and you'll listen to the show from there. Usually I'm not there. If you want to chat with me in the chat room, you can. Go to Spreaker.com, Free America Radio Network, and chat with me there. In the meantime, folks, again, the Views Expressed live. I'll have Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality on today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Please check it out at freeamericaradio.us, and you can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. Talk to you later.